First of all, before I begin this review, I want to thank my buddy Issac for making this kick-ass thumbnail you guys are looking at right now. I highly suggest you subscribe to his YouTube and follow him on Twitter. He makes all my thumbnails, whether it's a pay-per-view, Monday Night Raw, or my weekend review. So like I said, his links are in the description down below, YouTube and Twitter, so go ahead and do that for me. And thanks again, Issac. I really appreciate it. Now, what have I been telling you guys for the last 4 months? I want you guys to really think about what I have said the last 4 months. If you guys are a fan of my news and rumors, if you guys are a fan of my opinion on the WWE, you will know what I'm talking about. SummerSlam was a decent show. Decent. And by decent, I mean 6 out of 10. It was better than WrestleMania. It wasn't better than the last 2 pay-per-views WWE put on. 6 out of 10. Why was it a 6 out of 10, you're probably asking yourselves? Well, the WWE severely lacked in the undercard here. This is the result of the WWE not pushing their mid-card stars. Plain and simple. Okay? We had a Ring of Fire match that was completely boring. The right man won, but nobody cared. Okay? Kane is old. Nobody cares about Kane. The match dragged. The winner was Bray Wyatt. How did we get there? The Wyatt family stops one of the fucking panels on the on the ring, and pretty much puts out the fire and interferes in the match, pretty much causing Bray Wyatt to look weak. Okay, if you want Bray Wyatt, who is a debuting star on pay-per-view, who's going to be the future of this company as a heel, you have to make him win in convincing fashion. He won, but he was made to look weak because he relied on outside interference in a Ring of Fire match, aka Inferno match. But we got there, and Bray Wyatt won. The undercard, like I said, lacked. Then we go into Damien Sandow versus Cody Rhodes. Now, this was a decent match. This match shouldn't have been on pay-per-view the way it was handled on pay-per-view. Okay? It shouldn't have been on TV, on this card. It should have been, pretty much on a SmackDown show. It should have been on a Monday Night Raw show for what they did in the ring. They weren't given enough time, and it really didn't do anything to captivate the audience. The winner here was Cody Rhodes. He was the wrong man to win this match. Okay? He was the wrong man to win this match. Damien Sandow needed this. He needed to look strong, being that he's holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. But WWE booked this match poorly, and that was the end result. Cody Rhodes wins. Damien Sandow, again, somehow, ever since he won the briefcase, has been made to look weak. I don't understand it, but Cody Rhodes is your winner. Nothing impressive, nothing to talk about. It was pretty much a standard TV match on pay-per-view, as was the Inferno match. Next we had Alberto Del Rio versus Christian. This was a decent match. This was better than the first 2 matches. Obviously, we've seen these two fight before. We know what these two can do in the ring. We've seen a 20-minute classic on SmackDown. If you've seen that match on SmackDown a few weeks back, I'm pretty sure you know what to expect from these two. The ending was back and forth. It was great action. I really thought Christian was going to pull it out. I really thought they were going to give Christian that title reign once again. But they did make the smart decision. Alberto Del Rio is still your World Heavyweight Champion because he's on a nice momentum streak right now. Alberto Del Rio is coming into his own as a heel. Ever since he dropped Ricardo Rodriguez, I figured the WWE would not take that belt off of him. They actually took Ricardo Rodriguez away from his act because the WWE wants to build him heat. That's exactly what they did. Del Rio showed some great heel tactics in this match. For example, he made Lillian Garcia announce him in Spanish. I like that maneuver. Del Rio is just a douchebag, scumbag, cocky heel. He's playing it very well. I enjoy seeing him as World Heavyweight Champion. And the most important reason why I figured Christian would win this match. That did not happen. I'm glad Alberto Del Rio won, and I'll tell you why. Because Christian doesn't deserve the World Heavyweight Championship yet. He does not deserve that championship yet. Del Rio needs to hold on to the belt because Dolph Ziggler is waiting in the wings. Nobody wants to see a Dolph Ziggler versus Christian match. There's no money there. Del Rio was the one to screw Dolph Ziggler out of the World Heavyweight Championship. He stole the World Heavyweight Championship away from Dolph Ziggler. He exposed Dolph Ziggler's concussion. There's money to be made in Ziggler beating Del Rio and ending Del Rio's reign as World Heavyweight Champion. That's why Del Rio won. Okay? Night of Champions. The perfect ending to Del Rio and Ziggler. Okay? That's my opinion on that. But right now, Del Rio is still your World Heavyweight Champion. Then we get into the good stuff. Okay? The show was lacking before this. I was like, you know what? When is the show going to pick up? And this is the reason why you pay Brock Lesnar the money you pay him. This is why CM Punk says he's the best in the world. It's just not a catchphrase. It's not bullshit that goes on the back of a fucking t-shirt. They showed you why. If you guys watch this pay-per-view along with me, you will know what just happened in that ring tonight. SummerSlam, 25 years of SummerSlam. And that match that you've seen tonight in the ring between Lesnar and Punk will go down as one of the all-time classics for SummerSlam. An absolute fucking gem. A gem. Lesnar versus Cena was classic at Extreme Rules 2 years ago. This came ever so close to topping that. Lesnar in the ring is an animal. Okay? Lesnar in the ring is just an animal. The man knows how to perform. He knows how to put on a show. CM Punk, the same thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect these guys to work well together just because of the different styles. And every time Brock Lesnar gets in the ring, I just feel like he's going to break something. He's going to just fucking kill somebody. That wasn't the case here. This match was physical. Punk didn't start doing his typical routine until the end of the match. We've seen submission holds by CM Punk, but those weren't applied until later in the match. Punk had to get physical with Brock Lesnar because that's the match Lesnar wanted. And then they made this match a no disqualification. I forgot to add that. They made this match a no disqualification match before the show even began. Why? Because it would bring more realism to the match. Nobody believes CM Punk is going to legitimately beat Brock Lesnar in a one-on-one match with standard wrestling rules. They made this a no disqualification match to bring more realism to the table, okay? Just to give you that, I wonder if CM Punk is going to actually win this match now because he has no rules. He can do whatever he wants. That's why they did that, okay? And I've been saying all along, if you guys follow me, again, I've been saying Brock Lesnar is, it makes sense for Brock Lesnar to win here for various reasons. CM Punk is rumored right now to be winning the Royal Rumble. Okay? His name is the number one guy right now to be winning the 2014 Royal Rumble. He can come out anytime he wants and steal the show and get back to that level we know CM Punk can go. Okay? Lesnar is a rental. Lesnar is there for another 2.5 years. He needs to be strong. Why does he need to look strong? Why did he need to win this match? You don't want Lesnar looking weak. This was Lesnar's last match. Realistically, his last match for the year. Okay? This was his last match for the year 2013. The next time we're going to see Lesnar wrestle is at WrestleMania 30. The rumored opponents are either The Rock or The Undertaker. Do you want a weak Brock Lesnar going into WrestleMania against The Rock or The Undertaker? I certainly don't. Do you know how much money Vince McMahon can make on Brock Lesnar if he's built up to be an absolute indestructible force going against The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania? Do you want to see a reeling and a suffering and a Brock Lesnar who's on a losing streak in WWE go up against The Undertaker? It's not going to be believable. Do you want to see him go up against The Rock looking weak? It's not going to be believable. There's money to be made with Brock Lesnar looking strong. WWE knows what they have with CM Punk. CM Punk is going to be WWE Champion again. He can build himself back up. He'll come back week after week, and it's not going to hurt him. He was made to look incredibly strong here. He battled toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar. There was moments in this match where you were on the edge of your seat. Anaconda Vice, the Kimura lock, steel chairs flying left and right, being bashed over each guy's skull. Lesnar swinging a chair is like, I really thought he was going to fucking kill CM Punk. I honestly did. There were some shots at the end of that match where I said, you know what? Punk is out. He's hurt. All over the place. All over the place. Obviously, Paul Heyman got involved. Paul Heyman factored into the decision here. It was no disqualification. Obviously, he was going to get involved. And that was it. That was it. Punk lost. He got F5'd on a steel chair, and that was it. Brock Lesnar's your winner. That was the right move. Excellent booking decision. If you guys want to find out, if you guys want to know how to book a wrestling match the right way, you just rewatch that match. That's the right way to book a match. These guys planned out this match perfectly. 5 out of 5 stars for that match. That match, right now, up until this point in the show, was the saving grace for this pay-per-view. Because before that, WWE had nothing going for them. Nothing. Then all of a sudden, you have, what was after that? You had the women's match, which I pretty much went to the bar with. I know Natalya won that match again. I think she fought Brie Bella. I mean, I don't give a fuck about that match. I don't even know why that match was on the pay-per-view. You got that match on the pay-per-view simply because you're building an audience for Total Divas and you're promoting that show. All right, Rob Van Dam and Dean Ambrose easily could have been on that show. All right. Then after that match, you had, after the Lesnar match, I believe was Big E Langston and AJ versus Dolph Ziggler and Kaitlyn. Again, nothing was going to follow what you just seen with Punk and Brock Lesnar. Nothing. You know, and it's sad to see that a talented guy like Dolph Ziggler has to follow a match that just finished like that. Obviously, the match ended fast. It was barely 7 minutes long. And Kaitlyn and Dolph Ziggler won. They got their revenge on Big E and AJ. Big E, for a big guy, I mean, I knew this already, but it just was a little bit more magnified tonight. That man can fucking move for a big guy his size. That man is agile as fuck, let me tell you. But Dolph Ziggler got his revenge on Big E, got the zigzag on him, 1, 2, 3, and that was that. Nothing special about that match. Up until this point, you had one match. One match that is the saving grace for this pay-per-view. Then we had the pay-per-view main event. Daniel Bryan versus John Cena. Now, I don't even know where to begin with this match. If you guys seen the show, you know who won. All right? This was an excellent wrestling match. Excellent wrestling match. John Cena pulling out all the stops here, even with a fucking injured elbow, which was apparent because, number one, he was wearing an elbow brace. Number two, he went to the doctor that was sitting on the outside and whispered something to the doctor's ear, pointing to his elbow. So you knew John Cena was like, just watch out for what I do in the ring. I'm injured. I'm hurt. All right? Even with the hurt elbow, John Cena put on one hell of a show. Daniel Bryan did the same thing. Daniel Bryan was hungry. And I want to tell you guys, I want to tell you guys something which my brother brought up to me during this match. And I looked over at him and you know, we were making fun of John Cena's 5 moves of doom and it's the same shit. People at the fucking bar were chanting same old shit. And I looked at my brother, I'm like, you know what, don't doubt John Cena. And I've been saying this here to you guys. John Cena can wrestle. John Cena knows how to get down and dirty when he needs to. When he needs to pull out all the stops, when he needs to dig deep down and show you, you know what, I can fucking wrestle just as good as this guy. Now, we know he can't wrestle as good as Daniel Bryan, but he can definitely hang. Okay? And my brother said to me, John Cena can wrestle. He just needs the right guy to wrestle with. And that was the case tonight. He did a fucking fantastic job with Daniel Bryan. Why didn't he do that with The Rock? Because The Rock doesn't want to be here. The Rock is in it for the money. The Rock cares only about himself. That's why those matches failed. That's why those matches suffered. 2 years in a row at WrestleMania. Nobody wants to see that. You have two egos colliding, trying to outdo each other. Meanwhile, you're here with Daniel Bryan and John Cena in the main event at Summerslam. You have one guy who's the WWE champion, who is the face of the company, who knows how to wrestle when he needs to, going against a guy who is completely hungry and wants to steal the show. That makes for a good formula. You don't make for a good formula when you got The Rock, Dwayne Johnson versus John Cena. It's not going to work. That's why those matches failed. John Cena's a better wrestler than that. And he proved it tonight, even with a hurt elbow. Back and forth, this match was classic wrestling, old school 80s wrestling in the beginning. And then back and forth action, edge of your seat action. These two matches, Daniel Bryan and John Cena, and CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. The only two matches seemingly that the WWE built up for this entire pay-per-view. And it showed. Because if these two matches failed, this pay-per-view was a bomb. These two matches delivered, and it saved this show. You have no idea how these two matches saved this show. Excellent, excellent matches. I would even tell you guys to reorder this pay-per-view. If you did not see it, buy the replay just to watch those two matches. I am telling you, they will go down, both of them. What happened during the match with John Cena and Daniel Bryan and what happened after the match, they will go down as some of the best things you will ever see at a SummerSlam pay-per-view in the history of this event. Now, the ending of this match, you're probably asking yourself if you didn't watch it, JD, who won this match? Daniel Bryan got a massive ovation during this entire match. Yes chants all over the place. Crowd on the edge of their seat. The crowd was unbelievable at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Daniel Bryan, out of nowhere, just a fucking massive kick to the face. John Cena was down and out, 1, 2, 3, after an incredible match, back and forth, classic 80s style, early 90s style wrestling match. Counters and submissions and top rope maneuvers. John Cena was flying off the top rope with leg drops, and Daniel Bryan with Chris Benoit headbutts. You know, you had the no lock, you had the attitude adjustment, you had John Cena's, fucking drop toe hold maneuver, whatever the fuck that shit's called. I'm so fucking excited right now. I don't even know what his submission move is called. It was just magic. These four guys, these two highlighted matches on SummerSlam proved their worth. Okay? Daniel Bryan walked out of SummerSlam with the WWE Championship. He pinned John Cena clean. No interference up to this part. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody's going crazy. I'm sitting there with my fucking arms crossed and I'm saying to myself, people, there's 15 minutes of a pay-per-view left. It's not over yet. Sit down. Sit down. All of a sudden, you see something fishy going on in the ring. You know, you just have this feeling. Daniel Bryan celebrating, confetti flying all over the arena, fireworks going off, and I'm looking at my brother. I'm like, look at Triple H. Look at Triple H. Something is fishy. Watch Triple H turn on Daniel Bryan. Didn't happen. All of a sudden, Randy Orton's music hits, comes down with the briefcase, and teases a cash-in. Daniel Bryan throws down the belt. He's like, you want some of this? Come and get it. I'm ready. Cash it in. I'm ready to go. Randy Orton teases it, walks up the aisle. Not cashing in his briefcase. Saves it for a rainy day. All of a sudden, back in the ring, again, I'm looking at Triple H, and I'm like, you know, something is just off with Triple H right now. Soon as I fucking said that, pedigree on Daniel Bryan. Triple H turns heel. Randy Orton turns back around, looks at the ring, walks down that ramp, gets into the ring, and slithers underneath the bottom rope. Hands Triple H the briefcase. Triple H nonchalantly walks over to the referee and hands the briefcase to the referee on the outside, or the timekeeper. Randy Orton has cashed in his money in the bank. Daniel Bryan is laid out with a fucking pedigree. All Randy Orton had to do was turn him over. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton walks out of SummerSlam, your new WWE Champion. Triple H turned on Daniel Bryan after saying Daniel Bryan is the future of this company. I need to officiate this match. Triple H is a heel. Randy Orton apparently is now the new corporate WWE Champion. Vince McMahon is nowhere to be found. Why did Triple H do what he did? Why did Triple H screw Daniel Bryan? This is the cliffhanger going into Monday Night Raw. This is what we're going to be watching Monday Night Raw for. Why? Why did Triple H do what he did? Why did Triple H go into business for himself? Is he aligning himself with Vince McMahon? Where does Vince McMahon play into all this? I don't know. But this is what I see. And I've been saying this for months. And I want you guys to hear me out on this. I've been saying this for months. All right? If you guys follow me, you know I've been saying it. Vince McMahon was nowhere to be found. We don't know what Vince McMahon's attitude and whole reaction is going to be towards this. He didn't want his main event to be ruined. Okay? He wanted a main event for SummerSlam, the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. Triple H inserted himself into this main event and pretty much made a shit show of the main event at SummerSlam. You had a fantastic match. Daniel Bryan won. Triple H went into business for himself. We don't know why. We don't know what Vince McMahon's reaction is going to be towards that. Okay? Triple H is now a heel. The reports earlier in the day said that the ending of this match was going to be major going forward towards WrestleMania 30. This is where I stand on this, and I will say this until I am proved otherwise. Vince McMahon is going to hire someone to fight Triple H at WrestleMania. Triple H is now a heel. Who trained Daniel Bryan? Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels will get involved in this by some means necessary. And I'm predicting this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going out on a limb here. Triple H is a heel. Triple H wants the company for himself. He's going to turn on Vince. Okay, Vince is going to be the face. Triple H is already the heel. All we need is Vince to go face. He's going to hire someone to take down the tyrant, Triple H, that will build up over the next couple of months. He's going to hire what the reports said, a conquering hero. Who's that hero going to be? It's not going to be Daniel Bryan. It's not going to be John Cena, because that would be too predictable. I don't want to see John Cena versus Triple H at WrestleMania. That's just fucking boring. He's going to go out and recruit Shawn Michaels. For the company. This is going to be for the company. You want the fucking company? You're going to beat your best friend for it. You're going to beat Shawn Michaels for it. It makes sense. It just became more real. It became more of a realization after what I seen tonight. It makes sense. And I don't want you guys sitting there saying, no, JD, that's not going to work. It makes sense. There's no other way to it. Who else you going to have fight Triple H at WrestleMania? Nobody. Who are you going to get? You're going to get Goldberg? You're going to get Sting? You're going to hire one of these fucking clowns that's not in the WWE right now? Take a look at Shawn Michaels during that pre-show. The man's fucking in shape. He is fit. He may be aging. He may be getting in his 50s, getting close to his 50s, but the fucking man can definitely still go. To me, Shawn Michaels retired prematurely. The only reason why he stayed retired is to respect The Undertaker. Otherwise, he'd still be there. He'd still be wrestling a part-time schedule. The only reason why he stayed away was to respect The Undertaker. That's it. Triple H for Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. That's what I see after following SummerSlam. Randy Orton's your new WWE Champion. Triple H is heel. John Cena's due to have surgery this week. He's going to be out for an extended period of time. I don't know how long. But Daniel Bryan will avenge this loss. He will avenge this loss. You know, I want the Daniel Bryan to win more than anybody, but he will avenge this loss. Your main event for Night of Champions is already booked. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. And to be quite honest with you, what happened tonight, with what happened after that match, this storyline has my undivided attention. That was a screw job in the making. WWE pulled that off perfectly. And those two matches, the main event and Lesnar versus Punk, saved this pay-per-view from being really, really bad. SummerSlam gets a 6 out of 10 from me. And I want you guys down below in the comments to let me know what you think about my whole scenario regarding Triple H and his heel turn. Randy Orton now, full-time heel, siding with Triple H. Is this a new corporation? Is Vince McMahon waiting in the wings? What is Vince's reaction? Who's the conquering hero that the reports are talking about? Is it Shawn Michaels? Is JD right on that? Should I be writing WWE? Should I be on the creative team writing their shows week to week? Listen, if I'm right about this, I want every one of you guys fucking listening to me to petition to fucking Vince McMahon to get me on that fucking show. To get me on the writing team. To write Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and their pay-per-views. I don't know. I don't have any insider information, folks. I'm not an insider. I don't work for WWE, but if I'm right on this, I need to be on that writing team. I'm just joking around with that, but I'm telling you, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. That's the way I see it. Otherwise, SummerSlam was a great show with those two matches. Those two matches saved the show. Let me know what you guys thought about the show. Let me know what your favorite match was. Let me know what you thought about the two big matches. Let me know what you think about my scenario for WrestleMania. Triple H's heel turn, Randy Orton's heel turn. What you think Vince McMahon is thinking. Let me know. We're all down below, guys. SummerSlam review. Nobody's going to bring you a SummerSlam review like JD. Alright? You want some fucking half-assed fucking bullshit, go watch Sean's View. Alright? This is JD from New York. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed this review. Like, subscribe, favorite, share, comment. You guys know what to do. I will see you all on Tuesday for Monday Night Raw and my review for that show. Take care, guys.